Welcome to Impact Duty. I'm your host, Manisha Dadlani Kripalani, bringing you empowering stories of friends and people I admire. Their voices have given me joy and the momentum to share their stories with you. Akanksha Singh is a jewelry designer by qualification and profession. The lockdown turned her into a professional shuffle dancer. She's 42 years old and a mother of two beautiful teenagers. Akanksha lives life in the fast lane and believes age is just a number and impossible is not a real word. Hi, Akanksha. How are you? Welcome to
I'm
Impact
doing
Duty.
great. Thank you so much
Welcome
for
over
having
here.
me over.
Pleasure is all mine. I've been looking forward to our conversation because you've really created quite an essence and presence for yourself on social media, and in my opinion, quite a success story. So, Akanksha, welcome to Impact Duty. Tell us, how was your recent journey to Goa? Did it give you a good break?
Yes, it was so rejuvenating and totally fulfilling because it was the first time I traveled post-COVID with my parents. So after 3 years, I
Really?
traveled with my parents. Yeah. So I normally make it a
Wonderful.
point to travel after, every alternate year with them because they also live alone. So both of our
Right.
sisters went together. I spent a lot of time with my sister also, and it
Wow.
was great. It was amazing.
Yeah, the videos coming off your social media just looked so beautiful. So,
Oh,
taking
thank you.
us to your journey, you've created quite, as I said, quite a presence for yourself in terms of dance. You've taken dance to a whole new level altogether. How did this journey begin? Were you always a dancer?
No, I was not. I'm not a trained dancer actually. So I've been a natural dancer all my life, and I've loved dancing, but only at parties and just to my own tunes. But when COVID happened, so in the first lockdown, I was locked down at my parents' house in Bareilly.
Right. Oh, wow.
So yeah, so I was there for two and a half months because the lockdown was pretty long.
Right.
So I was there with my kids and I had so much time on hand. I had ample time and I wanted to use it constructively. I was working out, but in the same, during the same time, I came across these shuffling videos and I
Yes.
happened to try them because they are very captivating. They will always captivate you. Everyone gets drawn towards this, because it's very interesting and catchy. And I tried it and I couldn't get it. And I was like,
Mm,
what is this that I can't get? I mean, how is it so difficult? And I
hmm.
kept trying, kept pushing myself till I got the first step. One step I got and I was so happy. And then I said, okay, let me give the second one a shot, and so on, so on, so on. And that's how it started. And um, posting my first video, dance video on social media on my Instagram took a lot of courage because,
Right.
at that time, social media, Instagram was only pictures and all. And, probably there's a little bit of a, sort of a fear inside you. What are people going to think of me, when I'm going to be posting a dance video? And so, but I think at that time we were all trying to motivate each other, like stay positive, work out, don't keep sitting at home and eating. So that was the
Hmm.
intention of putting one video, and my friends loved that video. I had 400 followers about at that time, and so they all supported me and pushed me, and they loved it, and they were like,
Hmm.
wow, how are you doing it? And I did not think it was such a big deal because I said, there are people better than me. I mean, obviously I'm not a trained dancer, and there are good dancers out there in the world, so why why was I getting that reaction from my friends?
Hmm.
And then just at that moment, they were like, start teaching. I was like, I am still learning, how can I start teaching?
Hmm.
So that's where it all started.
Wonderful. And like you mentioned, I mean, putting out that first video, there's
Yeah.
a lot of fear involved. You
Yes.
start small. I mean, my podcast is a product of the first lockdown as well. And putting out that first podcast as a video was just so daunting. So I know where you're coming from, but look at how far you've reached in terms of fame on
Yes.
social media. So from 400 followers, we're looking at how many followers right now, Akanksha?
324,000 followers on
Incredible.
Instagram and 501,000 subscribers on YouTube. And that was like a faster growth than my Instagram.
Wow, really? Hmm.
It's very, very overwhelming right now. So, I mean,
Totally.
it's way, way over my target because I was targeting at 50,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Hmm.
And I am so pleasantly surprised by myself, you know,
Hmm.
really happy. I think it's been a year of achieving for me.
Definitely, definitely. And I've seen that growth. So, as in with what you're creating on Instagram, it's just incredible. How have you managed to grow? What do you think has been key in this phenomenal growth?
There are quite a few factors. I think from the first, it started with the dance. So I started
Hmm.
putting out these tutorials because I didn't want to teach. And
Hmm.
so people wanted to learn, of course. And, that step by step little tiny tutorials that I was putting up. TikTok was banned and Reels started. So Instagram took over
Hmm.
in June 2020. So that was the
Hmm.
time. It was a growing time also, and Instagram pushed us. I will give it to Instagram for that. But
Hmm.
uh, at that time, we were all everybody was trying to find something good here and there. Everyone was still at home. People were not moving out. So when people started writing to me, I realized that there were more factors than the dance. It was the
Right.
positivity, my body language, the happy vibes, probably my smile, because I think that was like the highlight of every comment. Your smile, your smile. I did not know,
Hmm.
till now, I always felt my teeth are too big. So
How cute.
I love smiling, laughing. I just that's my nature. That's just in my nature. And
Hmm.
so like random people will stop and say, "You always keep smiling. No, you're always smiling." I'm like,
Hmm.
"Okay, now I'll make an effort to maybe smile a little less." But it just comes out, because I'm doing something that I love, and it just comes
Uh-huh.
out. It shows on my face, and the energy. So everyone found a lot of positivity and happy vibes in my videos. I was still trying to disintegrate that whole formula. What happened? Why me? I'm a
Hmm.
mother. I'm almost 40 years old. What are people looking at in my videos?
Hmm.
Why are so many people following me? So
Hmm.
it was like in 5 days I had 50,000 followers, when my account went viral, I remember.
Wow.
So it was overwhelming, intimidating, everything. It was a rush of emotions, and I could not, my anxiety attack I got. I lost 3 kgs of weight in those 5 days, because I couldn't sleep. Everyone was congratulating me from left, right, and center when I was thinking, I'm going to delete my account. What is this?
Wow.
I did not ask for this. I did not sign up for this, and this is not what I do. So, because I'm a
Uh-huh.
jewelry designer and this was dance happening, so I was in a very confused state of mind. What am I supposed to be doing over here? If I go into this, how will I be able to balance the rest of my life after that?
Hmm. Hmm.
So that was overall what people were seeing. And I think much later, my followers got to know that I was a mom when I introduced my
Hmm.
kids, a few months later into my
Hmm.
videos. And I think the reaction, the bigger reaction was, "You're married." And I was like, "Of course." So I think that also then the inspiration came that, oh my God, she's a mother. She's almost
Hmm.
40 and she's doing this. She's taking
Hmm.
care of so many things. So that was the inspiration. Plus, again, the positive vibes and the happy vibes and all. So
Hmm.
I think that is, if you break down the success code of my account, so that is what it was.
Excellent. And as you mentioned, you've got two children, and it's such a
Yeah.
delight to watch them dance alongside you. I've watched a couple of videos with your daughter, and I think your son
Thank
did
you.
one or two with you during Holi.
Yes.
How have they managed to play a part? I mean, usually teenagers are like, forget it, we're not doing this, especially with my mom. So, how have you managed to let them embrace this side of you? And how have they been such a support system for you? And second question is, how are you so fit? You're like you said, you've shown us that age is just a number. You're now well over 40. Okay, so that
Yeah.
40, you turned 40 when you started, but now you're 2 years into this. So how
On
have you
Monday, I'm
managed?
turning 42. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, first of all, how have you managed to have your children be such a great support system? And secondly, have you managed to be so fit, being a mom of two almost teenage children, or are both
Yeah,
teenagers?
my daughter is 16 and my son will be turning 13 this year. So yeah.
Excellent.
So I think, I've always been involved in most of the activities with my children from the beginning. So they've seen me as a very active person. I'm not a sedentary person at all. So I'm very actively involved in all the activities that they do. And I think dance was also a part of us even before I started my shuffle journey. So
Mhm.
like, if I was home on Saturday nights, then, we would just randomly put songs and dance and have a lot of fun, crazy fun, wild fun with my kids.
Mhm.
So I think seeing me dance was not anything new for them.
Right.
And my daughter's been taking classes. She's a trained Kathak dancer. So she had
Wow.
already done 4 years of Kathak training
Ah,
before COVID. So because of COVID, it went online and there were too many classes online. So that's why we stopped. But otherwise, I think she just instantly, I did not try to teach them. Her footwork
right.
was so strong that she just one fine day, she just jumped into my video so naturally. She was seeing me practice because initially it took me a lot of practice to learn something because this was the first time I was doing any footwork, shuffling. It's very
Mhm.
intense and very exhausting. So
Mhm.
she probably just watched me and grasped the steps. And, when she came and I'm like trying to tell her, no, 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 you're not ready for it right now. You have to start from scratch. And, you know, she just did it in front of me. And I was so pleasantly surprised. And I
All
was like, oh,
right.
you have to make this video with me. And I took a little extra time to practice it with her. She was better
Uh-huh.
than me. And yeah, because I was still, very, very initial stages, and she was very,
Right.
very fluid with her dance.
Right.
So she just entered my video like that. So I've never had any kind of a hassle. Never had to pull my children. Now I do have to pull them. I have to coax them, but they do not shy away from it. I mean,
Mhm.
it maybe if I have to ask them 5 days for one video, but they are very enthusiastic also about it, and they don't say no. So they don't refuse
Wonderful.
me, and they love the outcome. But I
Yes.
understand everyone has so much to do. Even my daughter's just
Yes.
taken her class 10th board exams,
Wow.
so it was a demanding time for her too.
Right.
And same with my son. I didn't have to teach him. He comes very, very less in my videos, but if he likes something, he tries it and he's able to do it. So he's very enthusiastic about that then. So maybe this
Wonderful.
year I'll get him more in my videos.
Excellent. Excellent. And who and what have been inspirations or inspirational for you or mentors within your field?
So in my dance field, I think most of the big shufflers that I was watching at that time, the ones that I saw on TikTok. So it would be Tori Nishino and King Minsu, he's Korean, and Van Seko, Cici, Lara. So all these people at that time, and after that, I kept building my shuffle community also, slowly from one
Hmm.
person to the other. And now I'm almost in touch with most of the big shufflers in the world. And uh, it really is very, very overwhelming where I being a 40-year-old and those are all 20-year-olds and I'm fitting into their community and they are following me back. It's
Hmm.
just some other joy. I feel very, very accomplished.
Yes.
So just by that. So that's why I think my kids don't feel that I'm any different from them.
Hmm.
I'm strict when I have to be, and I scold them when I have to scold them. Punishments, I don't think, in COVID, everything went haywire. So nobody's listening to anybody. Everyone does what they want to do. But yeah, apart from that, I think I feel very grateful that they can talk to me about anything very openly. Sometimes I feel shy, like, oh my God, how are they talking to me about all this?
Right.
And but you know, I don't stop them. I feel nice that they can talk to me about everything under the sun, and that's the kind of relationship I want to have always with them.
Excellent, Akanksha, excellent. And as you said, from tutorials, you've actually now moved into doing a couple of courses, right? Am I right? So
Yeah,
now you're
yeah,
teaching. So tell us
yes,
more about the shuffle courses you offer and why you believe that releasing endorphins through dance, because I've seen that you put that video
yes,
out. You
yeah.
believe that releasing endorphins through dance is key to staying young. Okay, now that's the magic
Yes.
line over there. So tell us more about the courses and tell us more about why you believe endorphins are the key to staying young. Yeah.
So I offer online classes at the moment, and since
Right.
I've been really packed, with my kids and their routines and all lately, I am
Uh-huh.
supposed to start my in-person classes also, but I take
Right.
online classes, and most of the people are coming back for my beginner classes, because it's not easy. It's not everyone's cup of tea. It's a lot of hard work.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
understand everyone is different. Everybody's body challenges are different. And,
Mm-hmm.
so, and motivation wise also, it may look easy. You may think it'll come in a day, but it doesn't come in a day. It takes weeks of practice.
Right.
So I teach online, and my beginner course is like a complete sellout the moment I announce it on Instagram. And I love teaching now and also interacting with that new batch I have every time, because I think from where they start and the kind of relationship we build after 4 classes, my batch has 4 classes, and I
Right.
teach 3 to 4 steps in every class because they are difficult. Even
Oh,
that is a
yes.
challenge to, accomplish in every class. But then because they have the recordings also to fall back on after every class, so it is easy, they can
Right.
practice with the recordings. And then again, shuffling does release endorphins, and endorphins make you happy. So happy people always, I think that's the staying happy is the key to staying young. So you
I
could be
agree.
physically very fit, but if mentally you're not happy, you're going to age very fast,
Mm-hmm.
and if physically something, by God forbid, if something is not wrong, not right with your body, if there's something that is there's a disease or something, but mentally you're strong and you're very happy, you're a very happy person, your life is going to continue smoothly. You will not let it change
Mm-hmm.
anything in your life. And I have people in my life who inspire me to be happy, to live my life on that happy note, and
Mm-hmm.
never feel scared of failures or any setbacks that come in life. And then there are
Mm-hmm.
other people who don't have any setbacks in life, and they let um, their mental health get ruined, and then
Mm-hmm.
life is
Mm-hmm.
over. Life is
Mm-hmm.
absolutely over. So that's my main focus. The main message that I try to give out to people is that age is just a number. Just keep on living your lives. There is no age for anything. You want to do what 20-year-olds are doing, do that. You want to do what 90-year-olds are doing, do that. 90-year-olds,
Mm-hmm.
100-year-olds are running marathons. So why should we stop? you know
Mm-hmm.
this is
Mm-hmm.
just a dance. We are still midway. I don't know where we are, but and how long we have to go.
Yes,
And then
yes.
again, the longest relationship that you have is going to be with yourself. So make it
Mm-hmm.
a good one. Take care of yourself first. I think
Mm-hmm.
when we start loving our own company, when we are happy on our own, that is the time we are so liberated and in life, that we don't fear anything else. Then,
Right. Right.
you just take life in a stride and enjoy every moment. You soak it up. And I think that's the beauty of it. That's the vibe you set out to the world also then.
Totally. And Akanksha, you're a great example of that. And as you know, one of my favorite videos that you put out was the Brother Louis one. Okay. I think that was one of your initial ones. That's when I started following you and I
Okay.
loved it. Okay. How do you keep coming out with new material? How difficult is it? And how do you keep coming out with new material?
So it was initially very difficult. Initially, it was very difficult because I had a mindset, and then Instagram was also teaching us stick to your niche, stick to your niche. And I didn't want to do just
Mm-hmm.
this. It was very
Mm-hmm.
exhausting. It was very demanding and taxing also. So again, for dance content, you have a lot of practice backstage. which is
Mm-hmm.
again very exhausting. So it's very demanding and time consuming also. And so I, as a person, I am a humorous person also. I love to joke
Mm-hmm.
and laugh and, make people laugh. So, that sense of humor is top. I mean, even before my dance, I have that sense of humor. So when I started putting out some funny videos, I got a massive response on those. And some people did, put me down on that. Like not too many, I think one or two people here and there,
Mm-hmm.
randomly they will say things.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started putting out those videos, I got a massive response for that.
Right.
So I said, okay, maybe now I have some more ideas to put out
Right.
content. And I was breathing, but it's so hard to
Right.
convince everyone to make videos with me, like my husband or my kids and anyone else if I have to do a funny video.
Right.
But it's became easier over time. I think the first year was too much of struggling and, what content should be there, do the right thing, stick to the rules. And, so
Right.
now I think now even Instagram is like, don't stick to the niche, create whatever you want to. But
Mm-hmm.
obviously your overall niche has to be your main. But otherwise you can, even I would not like to see the same thing every day, no. So
True,
how
true.
would my tribe want to see the same thing? So
Mm-hmm.
it's a breath of, it's like a whiff of fresh air. If you see something new, something nice, funny, I think funny content does very, very well. So it's
Yes.
like comedy, then it's fashion, then it's food. I still keep thinking whether I should make some of my recipes, which
Eh,
people keep on, telling me. They keep on requesting, please keep sharing what you eat. So
you know?
I'm still bad at the planning stage where I should be planning it better. And, because you need to do it one day prior, you have to plan all this one day prior, and only then you're able to shoot something. It's
Right.
very rare that I shoot impromptu reels. So they are there. And I'm very, very grateful for all those impromptu reels like I made in Goa right now. So I
Right.
didn't have to do any kind of preparation for that.
Right.
So, and then comes the hard part. It's the editing that, also is time consuming, the posting, the engaging. But now it is much easier. So, because I am in tune, I had to learn to edit, when
Right.
initially I started out. So, it was learning to edit, learning to use the music, and
Mm-hmm.
there were a lot of new things to learn. Even today, I'm learning new things every day. There are new apps where you can edit your something or the other, and then there are certain edits where I see, like I watch a reel and I'm like, how did they do that? And then I'll be, spending a lot of time in searching for how did they edit that video, and then I'll be downloading
Right.
other apps and stuff. And so, but all in all, it's become much easier now. So it's all with planning, that, prior planning, that you can create some good content and mix content, which even I like now on my account. So it's not just dance.
Wonderful. And as you know, Akanksha, you've reached me all across, I mean, all the way from India. How have you managed to impact other people? Could you share a story or two of how you've impacted somebody else? I mean, you've impacted me.
So I have a lot of screenshots on my phone because I wouldn't want to let those beautiful messages go away. And I'm going to make a booklet out of those messages one day and keep them
Uh-huh.
with me, because that will always remind me that I did the right thing by, doing what I did, by doing this, and it made a difference to so many lives. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of women, it's not just one message, but a lot of women write to me with their personal issues and how life changed for them after marriage, how they
Mm-hmm.
just got all engrossed and consumed in their married lives and kids, taking care of the house, husband, in laws, and the kids. And how,
Right.
after seeing me doing all these things and doing something else, inspired them to go back to dancing, singing, painting, some craft activity, or to start a business from their own kitchens. So
Mm.
it sometimes I just start crying when I read those messages. That really is that the power I have to, really bring that kind of a change around. And then again, these are not 5, 10 messages I'm talking about. I'm talking about hundreds of messages when people
Mm-hmm.
write and say, because they read my captions, then they look forward to my captions also, what I'm writing over there. And,
Mm-hmm.
just by taking care of yourself, just by following your heart and giving time to yourself and prioritizing yourself, you know,
Mm-hmm.
every time, okay, you have children, but mom guilt is real. All of us have gone through mom guilt. Okay, then
Right.
even if you're not working, even if you're not doing a business or something, you're a homemaker, even if you end up watching a movie and neglecting your child, you would probably have mom guilt. So that is very, very natural for all of us. And I think we all should get over it. Why?
Mm-hmm.
We are also human beings and we need to take
Yes.
time out for ourselves. We need to be happy. We need to do things that make us also happy. It does not mean that your duties have to be neglected. And, um, we all feel, I think, we are conditioned that way that, after marriage, this is what our lives are going to be. You have to take care of the house, the husband, the in laws, and also your children. But that deviation from that is difficult. That transition is difficult. So when these women are writing to me and saying, I got back to my dance, I got back to my workouts, I got back to my painting, and I'm so happy and I can't thank you enough, it just makes me cry. I mean, I have to
Yeah.
first soak that in before I can reply to them, but
Uh-huh.
I think that's my accomplishment for life. So
Thank you. That's beautiful, Akanksha. And before I say goodbye to you, what would you like for yourself? What would you like to see happen in the near future for yourself and for your company?
So I may or may not be dancing. I'm still again, going by the flow because,
Mm-hmm.
I again recently just injured my foot again, and it's because of the overusage of my feet. Again, it's my fault because I was
Right.
not working out. So a lot goes in
Uh-huh.
the background, like I said, backstage. I have to do my Pilates and work out properly so that I can dance. So that's where my strength comes from. Eat
Right.
well and all. So there was a time where I just got so engrossed and consumed with so many activities around me, my daughter's exams and parents visiting. There were a lot of other things to do. So I think somewhere my workouts took a backseat, and because of that, I do realize whenever I get an injury like this, it is because of me neglecting my workouts. So
Mm-hmm.
again, I don't know where I'm going to, how long I'm going to be, doing this. But yes, I do want to open my own studio, and I want to teach people in India, especially. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
online, I'm teaching people from all over the world. I have people from US, I've got people from UK, Melbourne, Australia, New Zealand, and Dubai, Europe, everywhere. So Malaysia. So
Wow.
I want to create a shuffle community in India, and I want to teach people in person because I think whenever I have taught people in person, it has been a very different experience from online, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then
Mm-hmm.
again, connecting with new people and sharing that love and passion that I have for health and fitness plus dance, especially for mental health. I think if all of us can focus on mental health, once your physical health is fine, if you're focusing on physical health, your mental health is also automatically getting, um, you could say it is, getting better, or, all of us have our phases, ups and downs, but you need to be strong mentally.
Right.
So that is where my focus is, where we can build a beautiful community for the next generation also, for ourselves also. And of course, I mean, as a parent, I don't feel that my children should be living with me, when I'm old. I want my children to go out in the world wherever, their opportunities are going to take them, and, where life is going to take them. So I do
Mm-hmm.
not expect my children to be taking care of me in my old age. I want to take care of myself on my own. Again, like I said, the
Excellent.
longest relationship that you'll ever have is with yourself. So make it a good one. So yeah, age is just a
Wonderful.
number, and never stop living.
Wonderful, Akanksha. That was just beautiful, and I thank you for sharing your light and your beautiful smile with us. Wishing you all the very, very best in whatever endeavors you plan to do. And I'm going to be following you and seeing what comes
Thank you,
off your
Manisha.
social media page. I hope we actually get to meet in person when I finally make my way to India. But
Definitely, definitely we must.
in the meantime, wishing you all the very, very best.
Thank you so much, Manisha. It was such a pleasure talking to you.
Same here. Take care.
You too. Bye bye.